Many Yu-Gi-Oh cards have been featured in the Yu-Gi-Oh anime, and while yes, it's true that a lot of them have been broken, a lot of them actually are just normal cards that we eventually got into the Yu-Gi-Oh TCG. I've talked about anime cards in the past and mainly focused on ones that were super overpowered and maybe had their effects toned down when they were added into the Yu-Gi-Oh TCG. In today's video, we are talking about some anime cards that I feel would make a competitive impact if they were added into the TCG, but this is a very special subset of anime cards because all of the cards that we're talking about in today's video actually are available for play in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, the app for the Yu-Gi-Oh! Game. Now what's interesting here is that I don't think these cards are actually that good in Duel Links, but they would be pretty darn good in the actual physical trading card game. One of the cooler things that Konami has decided to do with Duel Links is add anime cards into their format that we don't have in the Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG. For the most part, Duel Links is just a smaller version of the Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG. You have a smaller field, you have smaller decks, and you have a smaller card pool, but Konami has gone out of their way to add some cards into that game that we probably won't get into the TCG. So in today's video, we're focusing on anime cards that definitely would be broken in the physical trading card game or would be played in the physical trading card game, but for right now, they're just sort of stuck in Duel Links. I also want to give a huge thank you to Flat Street on Twitter. Basically, I was trying to find a list for all the cards that meet the criteria for today's discussion, and I just couldn't find one. It's really difficult, but Flat Street on Twitter actually made his own list and shared it with me. Without him, this video literally would not have been possible, so thank you so much to him, and make sure to go check him out on Twitter. All of the cards featured in today's video were actually available in older Yu-Gi-Oh! Games, specifically the Tag Force series. I'm not sure if that's why Konami decided to add them into Duel Links, but it is worth noting that these cards have been available in previous video games in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Franchise. We're going in order of least broken to most broken, and let me tell you, that last card is pretty darn insane. First off, we have D-Mind, a normal spell card that simply says, activate only if you control no Destiny Hero monsters, special summon one level 3 or lower Destiny Hero monster from your deck. Now, like I said, you know, it's not necessarily super broken, but it is still a very powerful spell card. The main thing that D-Mind can do is special summon a Destiny Hero if you were playing an actual hero deck to help extend your plays. You know, putting free monsters on the board is always welcome, especially in a hero strategy. They have a lot of link monsters and a lot of fusion monsters and just a lot of combos that require many monsters on the field. Now, what can you actually summon with this thing? Well, it's very limited because there aren't that many good level 3 or lower Destiny Hero monsters right now. The biggest one that I would see would actually be played with D-Mind if this card was printed right now would be Destiny Hero Doomlord. Is Doomlord super overpowered? No, but when you can special summon it for free right from your deck and then banish an opponent's monster and then continue on with your plays, that would be really good. I would mention this card actually probably would have been played in Goki back in the day for that exact reason. Basically, there was a variant of Gokis that all it wanted to do was special summon level 3 monsters and special summon warrior monsters, even better if you could special summon both at the same time. D-Mind does both of those things. Doomlord is a level 3 warrior monster, which means that you could overlay with another level 3 to make MX Saber Invoker and start your combos, or you could simply use the Doomlord for Isolde and start your plays right there. Keep in mind, this card is not a hard once per turn, which means if you were able to special summon that Destiny Hero and then use it for an Xyz summon or a Link summon or a Synchro summon, you could use another D-Mind if you actually had another Destiny Hero in your deck. I think this card actually would have been played quite a bit in those older Goki lists. It would have been good going first to help your combos, and then the Doomlord could have been good going second to break your opponent's board and make your combos easier against your opponent's interruptions. Next up, we have Ice Mirror, and what you'll notice is that this card is actually pretty darn good for similar reasons as D-Mind. This is a normal spell card that says, target one face-up level 3 or lower water monster you control, special summon one monster with the same name as that monster from your deck. That monster special summoned by this card's effect cannot declare an attack that turn. We'll go through some of the best targets for this card's ability. The number one strategy that I would play this card in would be frogs. I mean, it's so good. Even just hitting a dupe frog or a rodent totem is an instant totally awesome, but if you happen to hit a swap frog, I mean, holy crap. Remember, this card does not negate the monster's effect that you special summon, so you'll get an extra mill off of that swap frog. That would just be insanely good, and honestly would be a welcome addition to the strategy right right now because Totally Awesome is limited and the deck is in a rough spot. Most of the Atlantean monsters and deep sea monsters that you would play in an Atlantean Mermail deck can be special summoned with this card. Things like Heavy Infantry and Atlantean Prince and also Marksman are all valid targets. Pretty much just everything except Dragoons. Deep Sea Diva is also a great card to get an extra copy of off of this thing, and there's a couple other deep sea cards that just got released that can be special summoned with this as well. I also think of a deck like Marincess, which has several cards that you can summon off of this thing, namely Marincess Seahorse, which is a staple 3 of for any Marincess strategy. And then finally, any level 3 or lower water tuner monster is exceptional with this card because then you can instantly make Krishron Helki Fibrax, which is one of the best cards in the format right now. So if this thing was printed in the TCG with its current effect, which by the way, just like in the case of D-Mind, is not a hard once per turn, I absolutely am positive that it would be played in some sort of water strategy. It's just too good not to consider. This thing might not be as good as a starter card as D-Mind because it does require a tiny bit of setup, actually controlling the water monster that you want to duplicate, but I think that doesn't matter because I think it has a lot more targets than D-Mind and a lot of them that are really, really powerful already. The anime effect of Double Ripple is interesting, but I wouldn't call it overpowered. That being said, the effect that they gave it in Duel Links as well as the Tag Force series is so broken. I cannot believe that this was someone's idea. This card I cannot get over. So this is a normal spell card that says send 2 face-up monsters you control to the graveyard, 1 tuner and 1 non-tuner whose total levels equal 7, then special summon both 1 Power Tool Dragon and 1 Ancient Fairy Dragon in defense position from your extra deck. Holy crap, this thing is insane. All you have to do is get the requirements to summon one of those monsters on the field, and then by playing Double Ripple, you instantly get both. Right now, at least in the TCG, Ancient Fairy Dragon is banned, but imagine for a moment if it wasn't banned, or if this card was released when it was still in the format. I mean, holy cow, you guys, this thing is insane, because both of these monsters that it summons, Power Tool Dragon and Ancient Fairy Dragon, are 2 cards that have been used in so many different degenerate combos over the years, but very often you don't actually have enough resources to summon both, or at the very least not summon both of them at the very beginning of your combo. That's where this thing really shines. Power Tool Dragon already is a fantastic card for a lot of sort of crazy combo decks, especially by getting cards like DDR right from your deck to your hand, and then Ancient Fairy Dragon, which is currently banned, was banned because it was being used in so many different degenerate combos, at least in theory. So by summoning both of these cards at the same time, this card just becomes insanely good. So why are these broken cards available in Duel Links? I mean, if these things were overpowered in the TCG, why aren't they that good in Duel Links? Well, there's a few reasons for that. The biggest reason though is card pool, because Duel Links, it has about half as many cards as the Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG. It's sort of catching up. It probably will never fully catch up, but remember, they don't have all the synchros we have. They don't have any Xyz monsters or Link monsters, which makes a lot of these cards a lot worse. By not having a lot of the cards that you would want to combo off with these things in their game, these cards are allowed to exist and not be that big of a problem. The field space issue is most obvious with Double Ripple because this is a card that immediately summons 2 very powerful monster cards, but then those monster cards take up 2 of your 3 monster zones in Duel Links, which isn't a good thing because you don't have a lot of space to actually do the rest of your combos. In the TCG with 5 zones, well now 6 zones with the extra monster zone, you can do some pretty absurd things with cards like Power Tool Dragon and Ancient Fairy Dragon, especially considering you could like overlay them for a powerful rank 7 while your combo is still happening, or at the very end of it to add more interruptions to your board. This card is just one of them that really suffers from not having 5 monster zones, while the other ones suffer from maybe not having as many options to actually extend into, like those great Link monsters and Xyz monsters that I mentioned in today's video. There are certainly more cards that I didn't put in today's video because I didn't feel that they were as strong as these 3, and if you guys know of any of those, please let me know in the comment section below. Is there a card that was from the anime that is now in Duel Links that you feel would be played in the Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG if it was legal? Please let me know in the comment section below. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching today's video, and I want to give one last shout out to Flat Street for for making it possible in the first place. I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.